a new episode. Before we start, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and check all our socials. TikTok, Instagram. We'll be posting all the clips from this episode on there. Now, yesterday, we had a UFC event. We had a fight night, and it wasn't an Apex one. It was one in Denver, headlined by Tracy Cortez and Rose Namajunas. Now, I don't know about you lot, but for me, once I start watching, I can't go to sleep and like miss it. Even though it was as if it was a pay-per-view, and if you're from the UK, that's main cards start 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. But I ended up watching all of it.
What's your main takeaways from that?
My main takeaways are,
Rose back in the win column. What do you think of that?
Rose Namajunas. I mean, it was she dropped Tracy Cortez, and there was like memes flying off Rose hit her, and like the punch was so perfect it hit her eyelash.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like people are like, wait, first of all, why are you going into an MMA fight with eyelashes on? It's a bit of a madness. But regarding Rose, I mean, it was a solid win. It was one of them.
What does it do for her career? Do you think she can put on a title?
I think she said she wanted a rematch with Manon Fiorot.
She changed camps, didn't she?
Yeah,
She's still with the same
I'm not sure if Trevor Whitman was there.
There was rumors coming up.
But obviously, she changed weight class and whatnot. But just in general, Rose Namajunas, I don't know. I've been touch and go with her. I mean, the performance, for example, against Carla Esparza was one of the stinkiest performances I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, she knocked out my favorite female fighter, probably of all time, Zhang Weili. She knocked her out, so it's one of them where you don't know what you're gonna get with Rose.
Her resume is insane. Even Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she's got a resume. Yeah, it's a weird one, you know. She's still, I still reckon she's got a bit of fight left in her. She's still. Got
but do you think she could become 125-pound champion?
I mean, who's there to really compete with that 125? If you think about 125,
well, she lost to Manon Fiorot.
Yeah, but I think if she can sort out everything outside of the cage, because with Rose, you don't know what she's dealing with outside the cage. There's always those demons that she's battling. If she can sort that out, we know skill-wise, the skills are there. She can strike, she can grapple. She's a veteran.
It's a mentality thing. It's where she's at.
She's a young fighter and she's a veteran at the same time because she's been around for so long. So if she can put on a bit of a run, like I said, sort out this camp issue, because there were rumors that her and Trevor are not getting along. I don't know what the issue is there. Hopefully she can sort that out. You know, Trevor's the guy that basically got her the title. So I say she stays loyal, stays with the same camp, puts on a bit of a run.
You don't know where she can end up.
You know what I mean?
I like, to be honest, I like the fight nights when there's a crowd and whatnot. But to be fair, I'm thinking at the card now. The guy who fought Charles Jourdain at 303. I don't know if you Gene Silva, yeah. So he fought at 303, and that was 2 weeks ago. So it's one of the quickest turnarounds.
You don't take any damage. The UFC
but he missed weight at 145. He went up to 155 for this fight. Yeah. Hear me out. And he fought Drew Dober. Drew Dober's not a joke. Drew Dober's been in there with Islam Makhachev. Yeah. He's been in there with, who else has he been in there? Like serious guys. Matt Favola. Yeah, he got knocked out. Bobby Green. Like he's been in there with some serious fighters. And Silva is a problem. Invest your stocks. Yeah. If he can make weight at 145, oh my days. He is fast. He's slick. He's a bit of a weirdo. Not gonna lie, the way he carries himself and stuff. Like mid fight, he'll just be laughing like, "Oh yeah, come give me a spud." But he's
trying to get in their head.
But Dober's face looked like someone took an axe and like he was busted up. He got stopped.
Dober's a tough guy. You mentioned he's been in there with
Dober is a tough guy.
He's been in there with all the best fighters at lightweight. Yeah. So for him to go up in weight and defeat a guy like Dober,
finish him.
Dober's the guy you fight at lightweight if you really think.
But he's not even a lightweight.
No, but
that's what I'm saying.
If you think you're championship material, then you've got to go through Dober. And if you get through Dober, usually guys go on good runs. Makhachev beat Dober.
That reminds me a little bit of, you know, when Topuria dabbled a little bit in lightweight, for example, when he fought Jai Herbert, and he knocked him out, and you see that knockout everywhere. Vicious, but that was at 155. Yeah.
So you're right. If he could sort out those weight issues,
if he can sort out that weight issue, he will get a top 15.
Still maintain the power. Then he should
get a top 15 featherweight, because I'm sorry, Drew Dober that's a serious scalp to finish. Like, obviously, he didn't finish him the conventional way, but there's no way he could have continued fighting. Like, that was one of the nastiest cuts I've seen in a long time. So he is someone I'm watching out.
One for the future, 100%.
Yeah, one for the future. But during that broadcast, something happened, and I think we need to talk about this. A big leak. French-Canadian broadcast partners with the UFC leaked that Topuria v Max and Sean v Merab will happen at the Sphere. Now, if the UFC have stacked that card, but they're not saying this is an all-time.
They have to stack it because the Spheres are one and done. They're not going to go back again. You've seen the arena, how good it looks.
It looks.
But like
nuts.
I said, I don't like that Holloway Topuria fight.
But it's happening.
If it's happening now, I can't say nothing. But to put the Holloway Topuria card on there, to put Bilal versus O'Malley.
no, Bilal, Merab.
Sorry, why am I saying Bilal? Bilal's fighting soon. Merab versus O'Malley.
Yeah.
McGregor put out footage the other day of him jogging.
Nah, it won't be at the Sphere.
The toe looks all right. And he's saying he's back in September. The Spheres.
Yeah, we'll dive into that a little bit more. But for them
those two are confirmed. That is an amazing for your main co-main.
Who's gonna be main and who's gonna be co-main? It'll probably be Holloway.
Got to give it. Yeah, I know.
Holloway Topuria.
Yeah, but O'Malley's got. I mean, how many defenses has O'Malley got? I know it doesn't work like that, but how many defenses does O'Malley have?
Sure, Chito Vera is his first
then
defense.
you can do Topuria.
No, but like
Topuria Holloway's the bigger fight, 100%. But
and it's a bigger weight, class.
Merab O'Malley's an amazing fight as well, so I won't complain. But they'll probably do Topuria.
I mean, Sean will get a massive part of the pay-per-view regardless. Then again, you'd have to share the pay-per-view points with Topuria.
What's the more competitive fight, would you say? The fight where it's harder to call a winner. You could say O'Malley versus Merab's the. Do you know what I mean? That fight right there, you can't. I'm saying O'Malley wins, but Merab, if Merab pulls it off, I won't be surprised. Look what Merab's done at that weight class. Look at the run he's on. Look what he's doing to people, pressuring.
The thing is, is like whenever, I'm not gonna lie, when they said that Sean O'Malley's first title defense was Chito Vera, I knew that was easy food. Because me personally, I don't hold Chito Vera as elite as certain people hold him.
Yeah, it's just that the first win in it, the controversy.
This, I've seen Merab absolutely dominate Peter Yan for 25 minutes. I have seen that with my own eyeballs.
Trust me, we rate Peter Yan highly.
And Peter Yan, I mean,
top 5.
Yeah, he was going through a little. I think the loss against. Since the whole thing with Sterling and then losing the belt, he went down. But he's a killer. And for Merab to do that for 25 minutes is scary. Now, can Sean O'Malley land a mad bomb on Merab's chin?
100%.
Similar to what Marlon Moraes did to him back in the, I was going to say back in the day, but I don't know, like 3-4 years ago. Yeah. When Merab was coming up and Marlon Moraes, I mean, till this day, I can't believe Merab.
That run Moraes was on, though. Let's just quickly speak on that. He was a killer.
Yeah.
But it was that.
It shows confidence. Confidence is...
That Cejudo loss ruined him, innit?
Yeah.
His confidence went...
But he was so close to finishing Merab. Yeah. Now, if Sean O'Malley hits you on your chin, he's so fast, he's so accurate. His takedown defense is going to have to be tip-top. And his cardio. The biggest thing about this fight is...
Does he have the conditioning to last?
Conditioning needs to be the best it's ever been. Best it's ever been.
Yeah. But if you flip it, what if the conditioning doesn't play a factor? What if the wrestling doesn't play a factor? Similar to what Aljo and
then that's the easiest. Then that's the easiest.
That could happen as well. Look what you done to Aljamain Sterling.
I know.
Who's very similar to Merab. Comes in a bit wild. We know Merab is chinny. I don't know. People
I don't know.
I think he's chinny.
I don't think he's
every fight.
He rocked him.
He gets rocked.
He rocked him.
A lot of people rock him. I mean,
Marlon Moraes. Who else?
Cejudo rocked him.
When did he rock him?
Cejudo rocked him. I can't remember the round. Rocked. Yeah, he was wobbly a bit. It was the first round, and it's always that first round where if you.
I don't know about. For me, rocked is chicken dance.
No, not chicken dance rock. But there's rocked where he hits you, and you could tell. You kind of.
Okay, but that's not. That's what you're in a fight, bro. You better.
But it's a thing where Merab can be hit, and O'Malley is the most precise striker in that weight class. Him and Sandhagen for me are the boxers, the kickboxers. If O'Malley can
land one on his
that
chin.
range,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Force him to lunge in and do what he done to Aljamain Sterling. Then the conditioning.
But do you feel
will not
like
matter.
if the longer the fight goes,
the more it will be in Marab's favor? 100%.
that's what I'm
That is
saying.
what the bookies are kind of leaning towards as well. A lot of people, if you're a betting man, then Marab you'd say is a safe bet. The longer the fight goes.
I don't know if it's because
The longer the fight goes, I'd say. But
I think-
early on,
I think Sean
O'Malley's a very
O'Malley's got
dangerous
good takedown defense.
guy. Yeah, but
But-
so does Cejudo. But he still got him down. It doesn't matter
yeah,
how
but
good your takedown defense is.
Cejudo's past his prime though.
Marab, yeah, but a washed Cejudo, not washed, but a Cejudo past his prime is still a better wrestler than O'Malley.
Yeah.
So if he could take Cejudo down, he's not going to struggle to take down O'Malley. The thing is, can you get back up? And can your power last you in the later rounds?
The speed, man. The speed and the movement.
power.
The speed and the movement.
Can you show some hunger, some determination? Can you?
But to be honest,
can you get through the fire
do you
and
think-
keep getting back up?
do you
That's the
think
question.
Sean looks so good against Chito Vera because Chito Vera isn't as good?
No,
as,
it's not. It's not. The thing is,
Because that was a
Vera-
great performance.
No, I know, but Chito was living off that first win, which was a controversial win. I always said, if he hadn't got injured, O'Malley still would have probably won.
Mm.
But of course, Chito caused the injury. But in terms of skill for skill, of course, O'Malley his levels above Chito Vera. Chito's living off that win, and he's a bit of a funny guy.
seesaw.
People like his personality and stuff. He went on a bit of a run as well, but there's levels to this.
I mean, when I saw, Sanhagen, he
Put on
beat
a
him.
clinic.
He put in a clinic.
battered him, and look what Aljamain Sterling done to Sanhagen. That bantamweight.
No,
division-
that was time ago.
No,
though.
I know, but
I don't
that-
think he does that to him again.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
he's
no,
not
listen,
even in the same
no, but
weight
if
division.
Aljo
but-
takes your back, it's curtains, bro.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
It's a wrap.
But he's
Yeah.
a 145er now. We
Yeah,
don't
I
we
know,
don't need to talk about Aljo in
But
135.
look, if O'Malley beats Marab and he calls out Cejudo just for that legacy win, he might be going
I
up to
don't know.
145
Like
as well.
you
never know.
put
He
a
could
lot
go
of
up.
stock on Cejudo. Cejudo. If he fights again, he fights again. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like
you'd
I ain't
say,
pressed.
he made the biggest mistake of his career, taking those 2 years
Retiring.
out for no
Yeah.
reason. Retired in his prime.
You beat Cruz.
Yeah, he beat Cruz
in
and retired.
a pay per view that everybody was watching because it was the first one back.
Yeah.
He was on the card with Ferguson and
Finished him
Gaethje.
as well.
You need him in the head, finish Cruz, and then
And
you're
he
like,
sits out.
cool. The UFC, you think you can get paid more than you're worth according
And
to
look at him
them,
now. Look at him now.
and then he's lost all his. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
Not just star power. He's lost his aura. The thing is, when you sit out in MMA is a sport that's evolving so much.
and he moves fast, man.
If you sit out, the guys that were once below you will catch up.
Mm.
It happened to McGregor when he fought Alvarez. He sat out, did the boxing thing, came back. You've got killers like Habib. Loses to Habib. Now look, a guy like Poirier, who he knocked out with so much ease back in the day. Of course, Poirier's improved so much. But guys like Poirier, Gaethje, even
Like-
Chandler, all these guys might beat him now because he sat out and
yeah, because
allowed
a
them to
prime
get better.
prime McGregor.
A prime McGregor would smoke Gaethje, would smoke Poirier. Let's be real, bro. But when you sit out, the same guys that you would smoke back in the day, they're getting better.
Look at Colby as well.
That's what I'm saying. You can't sit out.
The Colby we got against Usman the first 2 fights
It's not
against the
same
one
Colby.
we
It's
saw
not the
against
Colby we
Leon.
saw against Dos Anjos as well. You know, there's Colby that
Yeah,
mauled Dos Anjos.
Nola as well. Just murder, just
That's not the same guy. but
unlimited punches.
When you sit out, unless your name is Jon Jones, sitting out does not help your career.
Yeah. So you think that's a more competitive fight than Poirier and Max?
I think it'll be interesting to see.
That matchup is
Yeah,
so
that's a good
intriguing,
matchup as well. You know
bro.
what? It's harsh to say that the Poirier Holloway fight.
That might
isn't
be-
as
that-
good. I'd say it's neck and neck, both fights. Because you
think-
look at that fight, the question mark is, can the power translate against Max Holloway, who we know has one of the best chins in MMA history?
I think I'll be real. If
the longer
Topuria
the fight
lands
as well.
clean
You
on
never
Max,
know. You never know. Could you not, have we seen Max get flattened?
no.
Have we seen Max
But I
get
don't-
dropped? We
did-
have, but he always comes back.
Yeah, I know.
He's a very durable guy. He's a tough guy. And even that Volkanovski
But he's
fight,
so,
where Volk-
it's
Volk-
not.
No, but
He's
even
got
that Volk
toughness.
fight,
I know,
where
but he's
Volk
got
was-
toughness. Yeah, but let's not compare Volk's power to Topuria's power.
I know.
That's a different
Volk can
strategy.
crack, Volk can crack,
No,
but-
but he can't crack like
No,
Topuria.
Topuria has
That's
that one punch.
he's
See,
got
you-
that. He's got that. Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is,
But to be fair, Max Holloway just fought Gaethje, who definitely has
he
that.
definitely has that power.
Do you know what I'm
And
trying to say?
Gaethje did land a few times, and Max.
But I don't know if he
held it in.
landed the. But then again, like
but
I don't know.
listen,
I think it's such a high level,
it's a high level,
scrap.
100%.
Like it is.
No, it's a high
You
level
are
scrap.
glued to your TV, and every single
I
round.
can't call the winner. I'll be real.
Yeah, I can't
can't
call
the winner.
it. I can't call it. Honestly,
But the longer the fight goes, Max has more and more a chance of
no.
winning.
But we've seen Topuria go 25 minutes.
No, we've seen it,
with
but-
a zombie.
I don't see Max. I don't see Max stopping.
Josh Emmett is one of the toughest human beings on this planet.
Yeah, Josh Emmett though. I know.
No, I know, but
like,
I'm saying he went 25 minutes with him. Like, this is not. He's got. I don't worry about. Oh, come fourth, fifth round, his cardio is going to be.
No, you're right. No, the cardio's there, but I'm just saying.
And Topuria can wrestle though.
No, he can grapple, but yeah, Max is not going to wrestle with him. But what I'm saying is, the longer the fight goes, I'd say Max has a better chance of winning because I don't think Max will knock him out early. Topuria is probably more likely.
But Max is developing that sort of.
He has power,
that confidence in his hands, though.
No. Max has power to keep you off him.
No, but he doesn't
have one punch. Look what Topuria done to Volkanovski.
Look what Max just did to Gaethje. Look what he did to the Korean zombie.
I know, but that was a case where he points to the floor.
I know, but if he's trading,
Topuria's not a fool, and he's not going to do that.
Yeah,
he has a belt. He's not going to want to lose his belt like that. Do you know what I mean? Gaethje's a bit of a game.
One thing which is crazy with Topuria is like what 27, 28. Yeah. His fight IQ is ridiculously high.
It's crazy. Max is young as well, and I didn't notice how young Topuria was. He could literally dominate.
I know.
The UFC.
It's scary settings. And to be fair, I wanted to, because we're talking about Topuria. Yesterday there was an event at the Santiago Bernabeu, a boxing event, and it was sold out. Now, there's 2 points to this. Will Topuria be the first one to actually bring the UFC to a massive stadium like this? Because the Bernabeu is like probably one of the most iconic stadiums. Will he be enough of a star power? He's not going to get it this time round because he'll be at the Sphere, which is still crazy. But if he beats Max Holloway, does he get that fight in Spain? If he knocks out Holloway, he 100% does. But also, what is it with the UFC and their reluctancy with bringing big pay-per-view events and putting them in stadiums?
Now, I think there's a few factors here. Yeah, first of all, when it comes to, I mean, Dana's spoken on this before. When it comes to the open stadiums, it's a weather thing. But the thing about the Bernabeu,
it closes now.
It closes now, so it's got a roof that closes. So it's a thing.
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse. So it's a thing where that fight there, they've got to bring a massive fight there. Firstly, if he can beat Holloway, is the rematch big enough to take it to a stadium fight? We'll have to see. The Volk fight, is there an appeal there after getting knocked out?
Would let's say Sean O'Malley wins, would he travel all the way to Spain and be the B side?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few factors that play here. I mean, he can definitely bring it because it's not an open stadium. But you look at examples where the UFC should have done stadium fights. You look at the McGregor fight, where McGregor was big and he's still big, but back when he had the belt, they could have easily done a Crow Park You know,
they could have done a Wembley. They could have done a Wembley.
But the thing is, these are all open stadiums, so it's a thing where you know what the weather's like over here. It's a thing where Dana doesn't want to risk it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but for example, you do a Millennium Stadium which closes. I honestly thought
the Sphere closes, right? That's not a football stadium, is it?
No, it doesn't.
But there was a stadium.
The Legion Stadium.
Yeah, is that the Dallas?
Vegas.
Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
What about the Dallas? The American football team.
Yeah.
They've got an open stadium.
No, most of them closed though. Yeah, because they're so modern. But I'm just saying, even. I understand in the UK, for example, when they done UFC, so when they done Usman and Leon Edwards 3, and there was so much talk about,
O2 closes, doesn't it?
O2's closed permanently, it doesn't open.
Perfect. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there was so much talk about, do you know what, we might do it at the stadium, because we might do it at the stadium, we might do it at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, which closes, or we might do it at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is a brand new stadium.
Which also closes.
It doesn't close, but I'm just saying you do it in summer. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They do boxing fights all the time.
I think it's an opportunity for the UFC to really grow and push. There's so many stadiums in Europe, not just England. There's massive stadiums. You look at the Euros that's happening right now. All these stadiums are in good condition. I think the UFC are missing out, and
doing arenas.
They're missing out on big gates as well. Appealing to the European fans. They just want to keep it in Vegas.
The UFC is so massive in Europe.
Dana's a guy that takes risks. Take a risk and a gamble and do this. Wembley. The Santiago Bernabeu.
The Santiago Bernabeu would be crazy. I don't know,
the Veltins Arena or the Allianz in Germany. There's so many arenas that you can go. I mean, take a card to Ireland, Crow Park, or what's the other arena?
Or like I said, go to Cardiff. And Cardiff, that one closes.
You can appeal to all the European fighters as well. Yeah,
and make a mad card.
Mad card. There'll be footballers that are going to come, all the European stars.
Yeah.
Appeal to a different
Because I understand, 3 or 4 is in a brand new arena. It's bigger than the O2. But it's just something about my memory.
They could have done it at Old Trafford.
My memories of open air stadium UFC events is Holly Holm knocking out Ronda Rousey and Izzy knocking out Robert Whittaker, and the atmospheres for that was mental. Now I understand Australia, like Australia, the UK
summer,
is different.
In the summer, you're not going to get any rain there, innit?
But it's just like, just give us a chance.
I mean, look at the weather now in the UK. It's meant to be summer.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying that if it closes, I mean, the Santiago Bernabeu, like, that has to happen. That would be a movie.
But is Topuria, I mean, Topuria is the guy to take it there, but it's funny how Dana was so reluctant to take his biggest star, Conor McGregor, and give him a stadium fight.
Yeah, because in America...
They could have done Khabib McGregor in a stadium.
Yeah.
I know it was still a big card, but imagine Khabib McGregor in like a Russian stadium.
It almost feels like whenever they do events at like the T-Mobile, it's just it's comfortability level.
Yeah, it's relaxed T-Mobile.
You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, or the MGM, or even MSG. Just stay in. Come on, man.
Just expand your
risk.
But they are taking a risk with the Sphere. But that's in America. Like
what?
Bring it over.
The Sphere's in Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, Dana lives in Vegas.
Yeah, I know.
They just want to keep it Vegas.
They should do the Allegiant Stadium though. They should do that. They should do the Allegiant Stadium.
They should.
Another thing that's happened is Jon Jones has put out. He since deleted it. Some cryptic tweets about he cut his fingers. He's got an injury. What's gonna happen?
I think it's time. Listen, Jones is my guy. Pound for pound, #1, greatest of all time, a legend. But it's time to strip Jon Jones of his belt.
Rah.
It's time to strip him of the belt. Give Aspinall the undisputed belt. He's the interim champion. If Stipe doesn't want to fight the winner of Aspinall versus Blades, then Aspinall defends his belt against the winner of Garn Volkov that's just been announced. It's time to strip him because he's taking a mick. It's not his fault. Injuries can happen. Of course, he done his shoulder now. Apparently, he's, torn his finger, whatever. Strip him of the belt and let's keep the weight class moving. He's holding up the division at this point.
Because he said, MSG in November?
That's not going to happen if he's injured.
But why are you putting out tweets and deleting it and all of that? Like,
if he's not injured, that's fine. But if he is, strip him. And I'm not coming at an angle of attacking him, abusing him.
No, that's both our goats.
He's our goat, but you need to keep the division moving. And there's guys that are ready.
And also on top of that, I just don't know, man. The Jones Miocic fight, I feel like that's a snooze fest, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I honestly feel like that is a snooze fest. I don't think Jones beat the way he beat Cyril Gane was a madness. We can all agree, like no one expected him to do that, yeah. But there's no way Miocic looks good. I just can't. I can't see it.
We saw him on pads as well.
I just can't see it.
In his last fight,
for me, that is a 25-minute. Ball fest,
just a clinic.
Clinic-ish.
Yeah, it will be Jones just pressuring him.
Yeah, just landing a couple
Stipe
bangs.
Can't get him off him. Stipe obviously is the better boxer, but he's slow now. He's very. I mean, look at him on pads. What is he? 41.
Was he older than that?
41,
43,
43, coming off a knockout loss. He's been out for 3 years now. Yeah, that's not a good.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the intrigue levels.
Listen, there's even one more thing at play actually that I just thought of. Pereira heavyweight.
Yeah, but they won't. They've promised, and so many people have said this.
Of course, Ankalaev is my guy. Give him the fight. But if Pereira, I don't know, can hang around, still defend the belt, go up to heavyweight. Jones has gone now. Aspinall versus Pereira.
I mean,
I'm confident. I'm confident he beats Blades.
Yeah, I mean, sign me up. Aspinall Pereira. That is a madness.
Yeah, it's a good
fight. It's just intrigued. But they've promised Miocic this fight. They've waited so long. Like they haven't rebooked anything. I mean, Tom Aspinall's out here fighting Curtis Blades, defending his interim belt. Like for this Miocic Jones fight. So it's happening. But like I said, the intrigue levels. Cool. Come fight night. Come fight week. I'll be there. Miocic is a legend, arguably the best heavyweight of all time. Then you got then you got Jones, who's, if you're a real MMA fan, and he's the best fighter you've ever watched. Realistically, whether you like him or not, that's the best fighter we've ever watched.
There's people saying
in his prime,
Aspinall will destroy him. Calm down, okay?
Yeah,
Jones.
But how does Jones look? Pec surgery. That's not a joke.
I think that's why he's taking that Stipe fight. Not out of disrespect, but it's a thing where he's coming off shoulder injury. Not a warm-up fight, but a less competitive fight. Getting him ready for that Aspinall, who we know is a killer.
But I don't know if he fights. I don't know if he fights Aspinall.
I think he will. If he can make easy work of Stipe, which I think he will, dominate him, and he can get the rust off
To
the
be
shoulder
fair,
injury,
check
out the shoulder,
John Jones,
he will definitely fight him. This is
John
John Jones we're talking about.
Yeah, but John Jones picked Curtis Blades to beat Aspinall.
That's just him playing mind
I know,
games.
but if Aspinall buzzes through Curtis Blades, puts on a clinic,
I think he will.
and he's like, "Yo, John Jones, I want my belt." It might entice him. I don't know.
What Aspinall has to do though, and it's imperative.
He has to put on a clinic.
He has to destroy Blades, and he has to go on the mic.
And actually,
talk some mess. His last win, Pavlovich, is proper respectful. Oh yeah, I don't really.
And
care.
when you
The
just
UFC,
knocked
give me
him
anyone.
out, like,
brother, talk some mess. Like, come
talk
on,
your
man.
ish.
Get on the mic. Get on the mic.
You got a call from
put in a
Hunter
claim.
2 weeks before. You're out here in New York.
Yeah,
you knock him out.
The guys that talk crazy after a win are the guys that get it. Oh, man, you can't be all humble, respectful. What's that getting you? How are you the interim champion coming off a knockout win against a guy like Pavlovich,
who
at that point was a demon? Bro.
Yeah, he was demon.
Didn't he knock out Curtis Blades?
Yeah, he knocked out. That's what I'm saying.
So
but
this
MMA
is
maths.
I know, but this is a serious guy. You made easy work of him. I thought it was going to be a tough fight. And you go on the mic,
Pavlovich,
all humble.
Pavlovich
I'll take whatever the UFC give me. And now look at you.
To be fair,
after this fight here, talk your mess.
I expect Aspinall to buzz through Curtis Blades. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Even to be honest, even like Almeida was controlling him until he wasn't, and Almeida's fight IQ was just in the bin. But I'm just saying, I expect Aspinall to buzz through him, and talk your ish. And he's never gonna be like, he's never gonna swear on the mic and stuff. But like, just be like, listen, John Jones, it's my time. It's my time.
I got the belt. Like,
I expect
point to your belt.
Yeah, I expect you to beat Miocic before you ride off in the sunset. Give me my chance.
It's not even that. He's literally running out of opponents. If he beats Curtis Blades, unless he fights Gon, who's fighting Volkov, and Gon's coming off a loss to the champion, who else is there for Aspinall to fight? He has to fight Jones next, or the winner of Jones Miocic, but we believe it's Jones. There's nobody else left. So, bro, like, put in a claim. Otherwise, Jones is just going to keep mugging you off on Twitter.
Yeah, nah, literally. Another thing we should talk about. John Anik, UFC commentator, said he wants to see your boy, your guy, Shavkat Rakhmonov, against Ian Gary for #1 contender scrap.
Yeah.
What do you think?
For me, Shavkat should be fine for the belt regardless. But I'd happily see Shavkat take a little warm-up fight against Ian Gary.
What, you think Ian Gary's easy food?
Just before he smokes the winner of Leon Edwards Bilal.
You think
after
Shavkat...
Ian Gary's last performance, he should stay far away from Shavkat.
They've trained
he did not
together,
impress me. That's even worse for him. Then that means Shavkat knows what it's like. He knows his habits. And
Ian
stuff.
Gary said he's the better striker.
Ian Gary thinks he's MVP made easy work of him on the feet. I think we can both agree here.
Yeah.
On the feet, was the MVP not lighting him up?
Yeah, no, he had to
He was lighting him up and he rocked him out
a
few times.
He had to ask Charles for advice on the grappling.
Come on, he had to grapple him. He's not going to be able to grapple Shavkat. Shavkat is going to walk him down and stop him. So I'd happily see my boy Shavkat take a little warm-up fight.
Where does that leave Jack Della Maddalena though?
Maddalena
he's just injuries, isn't it?
He's recovering, isn't he? But Maddalena's still in the mix.
He's in the mix. Maddalena v Ian Gary.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Maddalena beats him now.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I'm not an Ian Gary hater, but I was not impressed his last fight.
What, Maddalena?
No, Ian Gary versus MVP.
I'm saying.
Oh, Maddalena's the guy. Yeah, Maddalena's.
But do you think he beats Ian Gary if they were to fight?
But Styles makes fights. Ian Gary still is a decent striker.
No, he's a good striker.
Yeah,
it's just MVP.
He's a good striker. MVP is just a puzzle for everyone.
Yeah.
I'd say that fight's up in the air. Maddalena, what do you think? Maddalena makes easy work of Ian Gary?
I don't think it's easy work, but I'm saying that's a very close.
I'm just saying Shavkat would make, because Shavkat's a demon in it. But when it comes to other fight, of course Ian Gary can do his thing. He's not a bad fighter, but I was just not impressed. That MVP fight didn't impress me.
What's Usman on though? I'm just seeing him on the commentary desk and he's like, listen, I'm nursing the injuries and whatever. Where you at? Yeah, 170, 185?
185, that's the question.
He's like first or second in the rankings. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
He's lost twice to the champion at 170, so
yeah, it's always
it makes sense for him to go up to 185.
It is always a situation.
His last fight was impressive against Chimaev, he's not a middleweight who's done anything yet. But I'd love to see him against someone that's been at middleweight for a while. There's a few names out there. I mean, I don't know. Whitaker maybe.
Whitaker Usman.
I know he's the backup fighter, but he's not gonna get.
No, Whitaker's not the backup fighter anymore.
Oh, they took him out.
Basically, he wants to. He has to have surgery on
have your surgery and fight Kamaru Usman. That's a good fight. Two former champions. And Whitaker used to fight 170.
Yeah,
as well,
because
back
I
in the
mean
day.
Strickland is not moving from his position.
No,
he's not moving. But then again, Strickland's crazy in his head. I don't see him if he can't fight. If he ain't got he's one of those guys. Yeah, you know, like fighters. Yeah, true fighters. If they ain't got a date or they ain't got something to work, they start saying stupid stuff. They start doing dumb stuff. Like even actually, this was really interesting. I don't know if you watched it, but Dustin Poirier he done the MMA hour with Hawani.
He was getting a Chandler.
Yeah, but like the stuff that he said he was going through post the Gaethje loss, like he would just have to leave his house and go to a hotel because his head's so scrambled and stuff. And like him debating whether he wants to still fight. Like these are things that fighters really have to go through. And when you know Sean Strickland the way he is, you're telling me he's going, so Izzy DDP happens, and then let's say there's a long-term injury or something like that. The champion can't fight for a while. You're just going to wait your turn. Next thing you know, a year's happened, a year and a half maybe. You never know. Whereas you can just get some more fights in. You ain't had Whitaker v. Sean Strickland is a fight. Like, you would have thought, what? We would at least have had it by now.
I know, but the thing is, though, after that injury that Whitaker's had, I don't think we'll see that fight. But what do you make of Pereira coming out saying Izzy beats DDP?
To be honest, and this is interesting as well, is because whenever Izzy does his picks on like YouTube, he always picks against Pereira. And it almost feels like Pereira's taking the high road where he's like, or maybe he truly believes that Izzy beats DDP. But he still says, I want to train with him. I have the utmost respect.
For who?
Whereas,
for Izzy?
Yeah. Whereas Izzy's always like, yeah, Yuri's going to beat him. Jamal Hill's going to beat him. Yuri's going to beat him. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, you have to acknowledge that maybe your biggest rival
has surpassed you.
For
me,
like,
though, me, he hasn't surpassed him. Because
there's an argument for it, though.
There's an argument, but they're 1-on-1 in it. I think Pereira's looking at the long run. They're 1-on-1. He wants Izzy to beat.
But he's asking for the heavyweight.
No, but he wants Izzy. I think that's just talk, though. He's calling for Izzy to beat Drakus. He knows if Izzy beats Drakus, Strickland's probably next for him. He beats Strickland, I hope. Then that sets up a big trilogy.
I don't know if they fight again.
Versus Pereira. I like heavyweight. That's the biggest fight in a long time.
I'll be honest. If Pereira gets his shot at the third belt, it doesn't get bigger than that. Like, it just doesn't. And to be honest, I don't know if Izzy and Pereira fight again.
But from Pereira's perspective,
to be fair, there's not many people.
But does it not make sense for him
other than Ankalaev
to want to avenge your knockout loss? You got knocked out cold the last time you fought Izzy.
I hear that.
Avenge your loss.
I think he's let that go though.
No, but out of pride.
I honestly, yeah, but look what he's went.
You saw what Izzy done at the end, taking the mick out of his son. His son's talking about he wants to fight UFC 400, so his son's in the mix. He trains every day. I mean, his sons look good as well. No, his sons.
I know,
like,
but man said he's in the mix.
Bro, he's in the mix,
he's in the rankings already, bro.
Well, how old is he? 13, 14. Give him another 4 years, we might see him, bro. So what I'm saying is, I think Pereira has pride. He's got ego. And he wants to avenge that loss.
I don't know.
And
but to be fair, there's not a billion people at 205. Like once Ankalaev,
that's another thing. So
if he beats Ankalaev, there's nothing left.
Drakus is talking about going up to 205. He's saying it's too big. Would you rather see Drakus versus Pereira at 205 or Izzy versus Pereira trilogy at 205? It's a no-brainer.
I hear that, but don't get it twisted. A DDP Alex Pereira fight would be.
Oh, it's fun, but until he walks into a left hook.
I hear that.
He's too wild.
Nah, I hear that.
You can be wild against these other guys, but you cannot be wild against Pereira.
Nah, for sure.
Make one mistake, it's a wrap.
Yeah, so you spoke about it briefly. Conor came out on Twitter and said that he spoke to Dana and that the fight with Chandler will definitely happen 2024, which for me, that is good news.
Great news.
That is
he
great
put a
news.
little clip as well. He was doing a little jog whilst on holiday. It looks like
because a couple of weeks ago,
looking all right.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, he said he couldn't put his foot in the shoe.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good back in the shoe. You can put pressure on it. He's running. I'd say
what event do you think it will be at now?
I reckon it'll be MSG.
Yeah,
I think September's a bit too early,
especially if Jones is out though. Yeah, and especially if Jones is out.
Even if Jones, they can't do Jones.
No, they won't put Jones and McGregor.
But they can still stack up that card with McGregor on there. There's a few. I mean, Makachev, to be honest. Let's talk about lightweight actually as well. Oliveira, they announced Gamrot versus.
Listen, I don't particularly rate Gamrot. Yeah, not gonna lie.
He's a good comeback fight, innit, for Oliveira.
But he's getting done dirt. Like, He's number 5 in the rankings, and he's fighting 11 because he can't get a fight. Dan Hooker, like,
Where's Oliveira?
I think something. Well, maybe Oliveira's waiting for this Islam thing, like we said last week.
Yeah, but he's not gonna get the Islam. To be honest though, now that Sarukian's been banned.
Yeah, but Sarukian's saying he's definitely getting the fight. So
yeah, but not.
What is Charles cooking? What is Charles cooking? We need a fight announcement.
Colby and him. There were talk of him and Colby fighting at 170. What if he goes up to 170? Does his thing up there? You never know with Charles. But Charles is a fun fighter regardless, man. He's
whoever is
he's must see.
He's must see. But there's like, well, yeah. I mean, now that Max is, you were saying for the BMF, because Charles Oliveira is a BMF. Like he could fight for the BMF title. Most submissions in the UFC history. Champion, beat the BMF, beat both contenders of the BMF, Dustin Poirier and Gaethje. Yeah. I remember someone was telling me that he's not a BMF. I was like, I don't know what to say. People say wild things. But
let's talking of jiu-jitsu. Oliveira, we know, is the most submissions in the UFC. I read something. People are saying Gilbert Burns is the toughest matchup for Leon Edwards at 170. What's your thoughts on that? Because I've got some thoughts, but I want to
maybe in a point in time, that would have been a real serious, but I mean, Gilbert Burns was winning that fight against JDM, but that knee was nasty and he got caught with something. And we saw Belal Muhammad beat Gilbert Burns, and I know he was injured, but it's just, I don't think Gilbert Burns beats Leon Edwards, no. Why? Because...
No, they're saying it's jiu-jitsu, but I looked at his record.
I don't think Leon Edwards would get caught with a submission.
I'm not saying he's overrated, Gilbert Burns is grappling. He's a legit black belt, but he doesn't use it in MMA. Let's be real. The last time he submitted someone at 170 was Magny. He's only got one submission win, I believe, at 170.
Yeah, he didn't submit Wonderboy.
He's only got one submission win at 170. So this narrative that he's this demon on the ground, he is, but he doesn't use it in MMA. So I don't understand this narrative. He's fought so many guys who he's better than when it comes to jiu-jitsu, and he still can't submit them. So what makes you think he beats Leon Edwards? It's crazy.
No, I don't. Especially not now.
I saw that take. I just wanted to bring it to the point.
Yeah. Do you think he beats Sean Brady?
What, Gilbert Burns?
Yeah,
I don't think he does.
Serious?
I think these wrestlers are smart enough to just stay in the half guard or full guard and just stay there and not get submitted and just land their ground and pound and just cruise through the fight. Remember what Colby done with Damian Maia? Yeah. When you're a decent enough wrestler, you can avoid the submissions. So yeah, I just think...
Do you know...
Unless you're a striker like Magny, you're not gonna...
Talking of which, you know how a couple of weeks ago we were talking about pound for pound, like who's the hardest hitter, and you were convinced about Josh Emmett. I got someone to throw in there. Joe Pyfer. Yeah. Nah, bro.
Does he not have the record though?
No, but Joe Pyfer hits bro, it doesn't even make
Henderson
sense.
As well.
Yeah, but we're talking active.
Oh, yeah, active.
Joe Pyfer is probably, bro. He hits. Even in the last pay-per-view, he flatlined my man. He's got scary power.
You know what it is? That one knockout for Emmett. I always forget his name, but it's the cowboy guy.
Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like
that one knockout. The seizure thing. That was. After that, I just have to give it to him. Do you know what I mean?
And he'll never move, like.
Unless I see a knockout worse.
But to be fair, we've seen him. It's not a one.
With Josh Emmett,
it's not a one-off.
Lamas.
Lamas. No, this is not like a.
He can crack.
This is not like a one-off.
And Michael Johnson, he murdered him as well.
I remember Shane Burgos against Josh Emmett in the Apex. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the sounds of the bangs in that scrap. Literally.
Josh Emmett, you know what it is? Some people, you're just born with that kind of power. Do you know what I mean? Him, Dan Henderson, that overhand right, you know it's super telegraphed, but if it lands, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Rumble as well.
Rumble.
With this crazy overhand right.
No,
let's just talk about guys that have knockout power. Like Rumble's there. Who else like, had that crazy overhand?
All time?
Yeah, like all time.
Crazy knockout, like unbelievable freak. Well, let's be honest, yeah? I know it's a little bit different, but when McGregor was coming up, that left hand.
McGregor's there as well.
McGregor's left hand, it was
100%.
Like supernatural.
He doesn't just literally was skim your chin.
Justin Gaethje. We've seen Gaethje put people in orbit. Barboza, James Vick. James Vick got knocked out in karate.
Yeah, James Vick. Yeah, no, you know what?
Cowboy Cerrone done dirts. But yeah, we've seen some serious. Well, obviously Alex Pereira, he's up there.
Romero in his prime.
Ngannou.
Of course, Ngannou.
I mean, the Overeem knockout is
Derek Lewis.
Yeah, Derek Lewis.
There's
as
been
well.
a few guys, man.
There's definitely a point that you.
Mark Hunt.
Oh my gosh, Mark Hunt as well. Yeah, a point that you made last week as well. You said Islam is the best MMA grappler.
Yeah, currently active. Not all time.
You think he's a better wrestler than Bo Nickel?
In MMA, he is. Bro, you see Bo Nickel's last fight? Where he
Cody
was
Brundage.
struggling to take him down.
Actually, something happened yesterday with Cody Brundage, where there was illegal shots, and it was kind of like a Aljamain Sterling sort of situation. And like people were in the comments, it's always and it's always in the comments.
Let's actually talk about that as well.
Method actor,
the guy he fought, Abdul Razak Hassan.
Yeah,
he came out in the media and absolutely teared into
DDP.
Drakus. Yeah, saying, because remember when Drakus was getting at Ngannou and Adesanya when they were champions, saying that you guys are not real Africans, you don't train in Africa. But he made a good point, Hassan. He said the reason why they've left is for a better life. They've come from poverty, they've come from, a tough life, and they're coming to better themselves. You as an African should understand that. But you're probably coming from a privileged background. He made a good point, but that whole situation. Unfortunately, if he fights Drakus, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that whole situation is just like, I don't. To be honest, it's.
But Drakus, pound for pound, is the best trash talker as well, in my opinion.
Yeah,
brother, the way he gets at people. Like,
what, Drakus
pound for pound when it comes to his trash talk. Yeah,
it's not bad, isn't it?
He's up there, bro. You see him.
It's like not too.
He is not afraid to take it there.
Yeah,
which is a bit. Some people don't like it. Me, I don't care. They're gonna
actually.
Fight.
There's something that we need to talk about. Is that Sean O'Malley wins the SB for 2024 Best UFC Fighter.
For what, 2023 or 4?
I don't know like how they calculate it, how they do it. But the other nominees were Islam, Alex Pereira, Zhang Wei Li.
You got to give it Pereira. Or Makachev over. How many... O'Malley one defense, isn't it?
One defense against Chio. But I think they obviously factor in that he became champion against Sterling as well.
Yeah,
Pereira,
It has to be Pereira. 2 belts. And he's defended at both weight classes, so...
Yeah,
it has to be Pereira.
It was a bit of a... But, Sean knocks out Marab later on in the year.
That fight is completely... It's not been announced, but it's been leaked, hasn't it? That Marab O'Malley for the Sphere.
Yeah. I feel like that's more the guaranteed one than the Max v Topuria, but apparently we're getting both the same night. So, yeah.
But let's talk about the card coming up, the Manny card.
Yeah,
let's talk about that card. The main event.
Let me get the card.
Let's go main event down. Let's do predictions.
You want to do predictions?
That card right there.
304. We'll start off with the main event.
Curtis Blades.
No, Leon Edwards and Bilal is the main.
Yeah. Why do I always think Aspinall's the main event? Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad.
So but also we have to predict to the T. We can't just say win. No. So I think just how last time you done the Yeri.
No. I'll do a proper. I'll be real, yeah. I think Bilal might pull it off.
Oh my God.
And I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there and say this. I've been looking at Bilal.
Yeah.
He put out some photos. He's in shape. He's wearing to go. I know that doesn't mean nothing.
It's now or never. It's now
or never. There's a lot of people disrespecting him. Leon's talking about he doesn't mind entertaining Islam Makhachev fight. He wants to go up to middleweight. He's his eyes not on the prize. His eyes not on the ball. He's kind of looking ahead, looking through Bilal Muhammad. And one thing about Bilal, everybody doubts his
life.
I know, but everybody doubts Bilal, and he's still on a crazy run. What is it? 8-fight win streak, 9-fight win streak. Yeah. The guy deserves to be here. And I reckon
he's deserved this shot.
And I reckon he just
UD win.
He shithouses his way to a win. And what I mean is, what he will do is just
do enough.
Pressure him. You know what Marab does? Yeah. Where even if he doesn't get the takedown, he just holds you against the fence. I think he'll do that for 5 rounds.
He'll put pressure for 25 minutes.
Yeah, he'll stink it up and get a decision win. That's what I think.
I also don't see a finish, but I see, and even, do you know what? I'll be honest with you, yeah. Even if Bilal puts in a good performance and it goes to the judges, I can see Leon getting the nod from the judges. It's in Manchester anyway. Yeah. But one thing for sure,
it's not as easy as everyone says it is, though. It's not a guarantee Leon wins. I know he's a favourite. It's not a guarantee, though.
I think he wins, but it's a snooze fest. Yeah. It's unless Edwards actually wants to fight, but then again, and Usman No, who said it? They said it in the broadcast, I think, when they were previewing 3 or 4, and they were like, you gotta admit, Edwards had to fight Usman twice since becoming champion. So he won the belt against Usman, so that's wrestler twice. Then he has to fight Colby, and now he's fighting Bilal. No
4
strike
wrestlers in a row.
No striking match.
And that is scary. If you're a wrestler and you're looking at a striker, because we know Leon's well-rounded, yeah? But you're looking at a striker in Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
And no wrestler can do nothing to him, then he's a problem.
He is a problem.
He is a big problem.
But it's just like,
but I just think
he's not going to get the knockouts against those wrestlers.
No, it's the guys that kind of run at him, innit? Maybe
But
a
like,
guy, I don't know, maybe a guy like MVP or Ian Gary.
Yeah,
guys
Ian
who will bring
Gary
it to
or
him.
like
because you're not gonna,
I mean,
they're not going to take
that Shafkat fight down the line. Innit?
That's a tough fight.
All right, co-main event. We spoke about it a little bit, but we got
knockout loss for Curtis Blades.
Yeah,
Aspinall KO's Curtis Blades.
I think I can see
in
that
the first round.
In the what?
In the first round,
Say
he
less.
catches him, and he needs to go on that mic and talk mess. Do not bring up them. Do not get the mic and be all respectful, because respect won't get you anywhere, bro. You're the interim champion. You're defending your interim belt. When have we ever seen in the UFC an interim champion defend his interim belt?
Yeah,
it's unheard of. They're taking a mick out of you.
Yeah,
back yourself.
Show them
and show them. And you're in your hometown, as
and
well.
you're not.
He's from
and
that
also,
area,
it's not like he's headlining or anything like that. Like,
but still, like,
no, but it's a bit of a vial. It's definitely
a big vial, and
it's
you're
a
in your
vial.
hometown in Manchester. All of his family's gonna be there.
Yeah,
talk your mess.
You're saying first round. I
First
will give Tom Aspinall the second round TKO win. So I think he'll get out of 5 minutes, but I still think he finishes him.
Definitely.
Bobby Green, Paddy Pimblett.
I mean, it's King Green now, isn't it?
King
it's
Green.
not Bobby Green
Yeah,
no more,
King
man.
Green.
Listen, that right there. You know what it is? I think Bobby Green gets the job done. Decision.
Serious?
Yeah, Bobby Green's a better striker. For me, Colby.
You don't think?
Colby. Paddy for me is a bit. His fundamentals are not there.
Paddy will wrestle him.
Paddy's tough though. You know, a lot of people give him stick, but he's got a good chin.
Yeah.
People do land on him, but he doesn't get knocked down. I mean, he gets rocked.
I mean, to be fair,
he doesn't take a step back, so he's a tough guy. He's got the advantage on the ground.
Bobby Green
is chinny a little bit.
But Bobby Green moved to Miller at 300.
Bro,
he moved to him.
He's got some defense, Bobby Green. King Green, sorry. He's got some defense.
He's
slick in and out.
Jim Miller got moved to.
I think Paddy has
he
to
looked
grapple.
like he got put in a car crash.
I think Paddy has to grapple.
Yeah, no, 100%.
He has to grapple.
I think
he can't stand there. What is a 3-round fight? He'll nick rounds. King Green will nick rounds if you stand with him. If it's a 3-rounder, take him down.
I'll be honest, looking at that card, man, where are the finishes coming from, bro?
Well, what's the next fight?
No, but
who you predicting?
Paddy Pimblett, unanimous decision win. And I think even if there's argument that Bobby won, the judges, I'm trying to say, they're going to do what they're going to do.
He is a Scouser. It's in Manchester. They might hate on him a little bit.
Yeah. Mohammed Mukayev against Manel Cap.
I mean, I hope the fight's happening. I mean, we saw
it should
apparently, Manel assaulted him or something. But
madness.
I think Mukayev wins.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Mukayev just wrestles him for 3 rounds. 30-27.
Manel Cap.
You heard it here first.
Can Cap even make weight? Don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
he's struggling.
I know.
I mean, he's out here saying that he'll smoke Adesanya. Like, so if he can smoke, if according to him he can smoke Adesanya, he can smoke Mukayev.
He's a bit of a hothead, isn't it?
Yeah, he's tapped.
He's a bit wild.
He's 100% tapped.
But who do you think wins that? It's Mukayev. Mukayev.
Really? I still don't see a finish though.
Yeah, for me,
these are not like these are. I'll be real. This card, like, there's no barn burners. Like,
but
where
the
we
thing is,
seen
we
it?
say that there's so many cards that I look at that all the fights are not barn burners, and it ends up being the maddest card.
Yeah, the next
They
fight.
might all just get
The
knockout
next
power
fight
all
is
of a
an
sudden.
interesting striking matchup though. Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze. That's not bad.
That's a very good fight.
Very good striking fight.
We'll see.
I feel like
we'll see where Giga's at, because at one point Giga was meant to be the champion.
Yeah, and
The
then
way he was smoking
Calvin
everyone.
Cater murdered
They
him.
ran into Calvin Cater.
Bro, that was. You want to talk about worst beatings of
battered
all
him.
time?
He had to take
Cater
time
was
out.
on the receiving end of one of the worst of all time with Holloway,
But yeah,
and then he dished out one of his own. So you got to give Cater credit for that. But
Arnold coming
Allen is almost like it's that.
coming
You
off
know
the loss to
how
Holloway,
I speak about Sonya Dong. Just a few tweaks here and there. Gave a good fight to Holloway. Gave a good fight to Evloev. It's just fine margins.
He'll have all the fans behind him as well.
Yeah.
He's a homegrown fighter. I say Arnold Allen decision.
I can see that
3
as well.
rounds.
Anything
He
in the
wrestles him.
anything in the prelims. Monty McCann is back. Nathaniel Woods fighting as well.
Nathaniel Woods, another one, you know, another talented fighter.
Yeah,
from
he is.
Britain.
He's good.
What's he? Because he was at 135. He's gone up to 145, hasn't he?
Yeah.
This fight's at
He's
145.
pretty small for
Is
145.
he at 145 now?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he wins, of course, homegrown fighter.
Gregory Rodriguez, late replacement, fighting Christian Leroy Duncan. That's a good little fight as well. I mean, Rodriguez is what? Robocop. Like, he's a zombie of the highest order. A couple more things that you didn't even say. Who do you think wins, Gamrot or V Hooker? Gamrot. It's a weird
I'm
one.
gonna say Hooker, you know. He's having a bit of a resurgence. You know
I mean,
what
if he wins, he's back in the top 5, and this big
That's what I'm
fight is
saying.
coming from
He's
him.
coming off a win his last fight.
Yeah.
I say Hooker. I think Gamrot will look at Hooker, think he's easy money, take him lightly, and Hooker pulls it off. Hooker could just keep him at range, kick his shins.
What about Imavov Brendan Allen? That's a nice little fight. Brendan Allen.
That's been announced for Paris, hasn't it?
Yeah. Brendan Allen's one of them, where it's like whenever I watch him,
Doesn't he have a submission win over?
let me get his record up. Actually,
He can grapple though.
he can grapple.
Did he not submit?
He got knocked out by Strickland once. He's another one. He's 28 years old, so this is a big fight for him because if he beats
Young guy.
If he beats Imavov, he cracks the top.
Imavov is young as
5.
well, yeah.
He cracks the top 5, so that's not a bad. That's not a bad. Who do you think wins that though? Oh my god! So he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak.
Yeah,
Brendan Allen.
I think he wins.
And
Purely on the grappling.
last time out, he fought Chris Curtis and he won by decision. And Chris Curtis knocked him out back in 2021. So his only losses are against Strickland and Chris Curtis. Actually, they're not. But in the UFC, they are. So I think originally he said he didn't want to fight in Paris, but they must have, upped his pay a little bit for him to go. I mean, Imavov, you're 4th. He could have waited. He could have called out Whitaker. He could have XYZ. But I guess he wants to fight in his hometown. So I don't blame him for that. The main event of that card, Money Moicano against BSD. That is a scrap.
Very good fight.
That is a very good fight.
And a big step up in competition for Moicano. For me.
Well, you think so?
For me, BSD.
Whoa. Do you know who Moicano's been in there
But
with?
before that knockout loss to Poirier, BSD was the guy.
I know, but do you know...
BSD went into that Poirier fight as a favourite. Which is crazy. But the fact that he was a favourite...
Yeah, but that's...
shows
I'm still convinced.
No, it just shows the run he was on. Do you know what
I know, but I'm still convinced to this day that BSD's cardio was in the bin.
BSD without a staph infection, going into a fight without having to take antibiotics, is a dangerous guy. And I reckon he makes easy work of Moicano. I'll tell you this now.
Easy work?
Easy work. He finishes him.
Damn. Okay.
You're
talking about this is a step up for Moicano.
It's a big step up for Moicano.
Wait. Let me tell you the people he's been in with. But he was at featherweight for a while, yeah? He's been in the octagon with Brian Ortega, Calvin Kattar, Cub Swanson, Jose Aldo, Korean Zombie, Rafael Fiziev. Yep. He got knocked out by Fiziev, though.
And I was about to say, all those names, they're all amazing names, yeah? But how many wins does he have in those fights? Maybe what, 1, 2, 3? Maybe?
Yeah, no, he lost to those guys.
He lost to all of them or most of them.
No, he beat Calvin Kattar.
So that tells me when he makes that step up in competition against elite
What's
fighters,
happening with Fiziev though?
He comes up short.
I know
it's not a knock on him, but it's a thing where Benoit Saint Denis before that Poirier fight was the guy, and he went into that fight as favourite. So he's not a joker.
I know. He's not a joker, and like I'm not completely like off the hype train. I think he's serious.
He's still a guy, bro.
But he's completely changed his team.
Benoit.
Yeah. Completely.
So what? He trains in America now? Then?
No, he trains somewhere else in France, but he's completely switched up his team.
Team up with France's old coach.
Nah, I don't think he has. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's. But the way Moicano speaks,
Moicano's if he wins, listen, Aspinall should take tips off Moicano on how to talk after a fight. Moicano talks his mess. Promotes himself.
No, but that changed. That he just woke up one day and decided that was the route he wanted to go down.
That's probably got him a main event.
Yeah. Quickly, want to talk about this because this is an interesting point as well. So Kamaru Usman doubles down on his comments about Alex Pereira not being high up on his pound for pound list. He quotes, "Yes, you can stand up and knock everybody out, but that doesn't mean you're number 1 pound for pound. Don't be butthurt about it. If anything, show me your pound for pound. Go out there and take the guy down. What sort of smelly take is that, Usman?
That's nonsense.
Because at the end of the day, it's path to least resistance.
Why doesn't Usman get more knockout wins?
Yeah, it's path to least resistance. You're telling me what? If you can't take him down, what? Oh yeah, like let me just do your Oliveira. Let me just lay on the ground. All right, cool, do your thing, bro. If you can't take him down, that's not his fault. If you can't take him down and he can knock you out, that's not his fault. You can't deduct.
When Gilbert Burns knocked him down, why didn't he keep standing with him?
Listen,
path to victory was to take Gilbert Burns down, and he done that. You know what I mean? That's what you're meant to do.
But like this is what I'm saying. You can't. I guess probably for him, if he beats Ankalaev, he might change his tune a little bit because that's a real wrestling threat. But like I said, you cannot. You can't deduct.
No,
you can't say, oh, he's not as high.
He's
because
hating a little bit.
Usman.
Where is
that is a smelly take.
Where is Pereira on pound for pound?
Second.
He's number 2, and he deserves it.
Behind Islam, but he's above Jon Jones now.
Until Jones comes back, and then he'll go third because Jones will go number 1 in it.
Yeah, he'll beat Miocic. Lastly, as well, Gane v Volkov as well has been announced. I think UFC 308, which will be in Abu Dhabi, I believe. Yeah. So that's
is it the pay-per-view? It is pay-per-view actually. Yeah.
October 26th.
I don't think that'll be the main event. I think Makhachev will main event.
Yeah, they'll do Makhachev to Tarukian there. To be honest, I feel like. What do you think of that matchup? They fought before, no?
Gane Volkov, no.
Yeah, they have.
Have they fought? Yeah.
Yeah, Gane beat him.
Yeah, Gane beat him. Yeah,
but Volkov beating Pavlovich and stuff. He's a bit.
But it's fine. That just shows how small the weight classes are heavyweight.
Yeah, they're all fighting each other all the time.
Rematches that mean nothing. It's not like they have to rematch each other as well. I mean,
oh no, he didn't finish him. It was over 25 minutes.
Yeah, but it was a clinic. I remember that fight. Can't you do Almeida versus Gane? Is Almeida booked up?
No,
put Gane in there with a grappler.
I mean, Almeida's just gonna have to wait.
We won't learn nothing about Cyril Gane, him beating Volkov, because he's coming off a submission loss. There'll be no takedown threat with Volkov. It'll be another kickboxing match, and we know he's probably the best kickboxer at that weight. So we won't learn nothing unless he fights a grappler. I want to see him versus Almeida.
Yeah, Cyril Gane said that Aspinall's kind of like, Aspinall's kind of saying, oh, he doesn't want to fight me, but every time he said that is when Cyril Gane's got stuff going on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but when Cyril Gane was the interim champion and Aspinall, when tables were turned and it was the other way around,
that is true.
He was not trying to fight Aspinall. So Aspinall was holding.
Didn't Aspinall like travel to Paris and stuff and was like trying to like get some hype going with the fight?
Even when Gane lost to Ngannou, they could have made that Aspinall fight, but Gane didn't want it. So you got to wait now.
Yeah.
And now fight guys that you've beaten before. There's no interest for me in this.
Just
fight.
Yeah,
it's enough fight.
The heavyweight.
I'd rather see him versus Pavlovich. Even I know Pavlovich is coming for loss, but it's a fresh.
I mean, Pavlovich needs to find his confidence. He needs to find his confidence. He needs to find his confidence back up. The next week, it almost feels like it's kind of a filler sort of situation from 303 to 304. I mean, yesterday the fight night, meh, and then next week is Apex, another meh. But we'll get 304, even though the card is not super interesting. It's, well, you know what? I'm not going to hate on it. It's got the potential of being a ball fest of a card. But with MMA, you never know. We've been there before and we're just kind of like, oh, I don't know about how stacked this card is or like the potential matchups. And the next thing you know, you're surprised and you've seen some really good scraps. So I'm looking forward to 304 in Manchester. Obviously, it's good for UK MMA. Everyone's going to be tapped in. I'm going to be awake at 5 o'clock. Just
going to have to
just like if it was in Vegas, even though it's in Manchester, but we're here, we're frontline. I'm sure all the rest of the UK fans will be like us, glued to their TV. Or if you're going in person, let us know in the comments. And yeah, we'll end the episode here. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. Make sure to follow check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcast if you're listening on there as well.
TikTok, Twitter.
And yeah, we're posting all the clips. So all the clips
comment below. Engage. Tell us what you want us to upload.
All the clips from this episode will be on Insta and it will be on the TikTok. So watch out for that. Peace out. We'll see you next time.